Hi guys, welcome back. Let's jump straight into today's article, and the headline reads: China plots Battersea Power Station swoop as embassy decision looms. So it looks like the Battersea Power Station could be up for sale. My name is Monty from Huddleton's Asset Management, your on-the-ground central London estate agency where our teams work with vendors, landlords and people looking to rent properties. Let's take a look at today's article. China is plotting a deal for Battersea Power Station as the decision on its London mega embassy looms. We've heard of Battersea Power Station and Nine Elms. This is a regentrification location south of the river. The country's sovereign wealth fund, the Chinese Investment Corporation, CIC, is in talks to acquire a potential stake in the site, which was put up for sale last year at around £2 billion. Now, it's important to note the Malaysians who originally bought this in 2012 paid £400 million for it. And I'm going to be talking about how much it's actually cost them to develop it today, which is quite shocking. It continues. Battersea Power Station is owned by the Malaysian state-owned investor Permodalan National Berhad and the Employee Provident Fund, which is known as the EPF, the country's pension fund, with a consortium seeking a partner to own a 50% stake in the site. Now, it's important to note that the original consortium that acquired the Battersea Power Station included the EPF Fund, Sime Darby and SP Certia. Saudi Arabia's wealth fund is also in talks over a potential deal, although China's interest is likely to trigger political scrutiny amid the row over its proposed new UK embassy. The government is poised to announce its decision on the new embassy later this month, which is going to be very close to the new US embassy, which would be located in the East Tower near Tower Bridge and the former Royal Mint site. Now, I think it's important to be tuned in to the London market, and we know the Royal Mint site very well. It was acquired as one of the early acquisitions by the LRC Group, and it's a gentleman by the name of Yehuda Barashi. The owner relocated from Germany, where he was predominantly involved in industrial buildings. So this was a great acquisition from him. Got contacted by the Chinese and they acquired it, and it was a great flip. Let's continue. The Home Office and the Foreign Office have each received security advice from MI5, and MI6 regarding the proposed building, with officials concerned it could give Beijing an overly large presence in London. So security is going to be a big issue. I think the Chinese are going to be facing a lot of hurdles, but ultimately I think it's a deal that will probably get done. China wants to build more than 200, now wait till you listen to this, China wants to build more than 200 secret rooms beneath the super embassy under current proposals, including a hidden chamber just over 1 meter from Britain's most sensitive communication cables. Wow, I don't know what's going to happen there. The decision, delayed last month, has so far overshadowed Labour's efforts to forge closer ties with China, with Keir Starmer expected to visit Beijing on a diplomatic trip later this month. Despite tensions, China's sovereign wealth fund is considering acquiring Battersea Power Station, besides the Thames in West London, one of the capital's most celebrated landmarks. In my opinion, I think it's in the wrong location. It's south of the river, and most of the action is on this side of the river, which is West London, North London and also Southwest London. Through CIC, the fund owns stakes in Heathrow Airport and the Cadent gas network. CIC said last month that its total assets hit 1.57 trillion at the end of 2024. Any potential deal is expected to cover the site's 420,000 square feet shopping centre spread across 2 turbine halls, with £500,000 square foot office leased to Apple and a 360-degree viewing gallery atop one of its former chimneys. If you haven't been there, it's a spectacular view and well worth doing. However, the broader Battersea site still has more than a dozen acres of its 42 acres site available to build on. It continues, raising questions about whether China could target this as an alternative location for its new embassy should the government reject its plans in East London. That would be very interesting to have the Chinese embassy so close to the new USA embassy too. It is understood that the advisors overseeing the sales process have drawn up a short list of potential buyers, which also include other funds in the Middle East and Asia, as well as the US-based suitors. That's an interesting article. Let's just talk a little bit about the Battersea Power Station and give you some interesting facts. So originally it was purchased by the Malaysian consortium, which included the EPF fund, SP Certia and Sime Darby. The ownership was split 40 and 40 between Sime Darby and SP Certia, and the EPF, which is the pension fund in Malaysia, it's people's money, took 20%. Now, what's also important to note here, it was also purchased at a similar time when the Camden Market was sold for £400 million too. But there's a big difference between both acquisitions. Camden Market at £400 million was sold to a billionaire called Teddy Sagi, an Israeli billionaire that made his money through gambling and has a consortium of investors, whereas the Malaysians, they bought Battersea Power Station at £400 million with a joint venture. The main difference between both sites was Camden Market was income producing, so from day one it produced a rental income, whereas Battersea Power Station didn't have any income up until the first phase, and also the commercial units were built. More than 10 years later, Teddy Sagi's Camden Market has a new valuation of 1.5 billion, and the Battersea Power Station has an indication of costing the Malaysians £1 billion to develop. The Battersea Power Station itself also is home to 3,900 apartments, and the first phase that was launched in Asia, Singapore, Hong Kong and Malaysia, was at £800 per square foot, and they sold exceptionally well. The second phase was sold at £1,200 per square foot, which also had a good take-up. I believe that the mistake that the Malaysians made, the third release, which was an international release on the same day in Hong Kong, Singapore and the UAE, was at £1,800. Now, the reason that they had the international release on the same day is that they wanted to create panic. Unfortunately, the strategy didn't work and they had a low taking, and this was the start of the problem at Battersea Power Station. The price per square foot became too high and the buyers knew exactly what they were getting themselves into. Today we see resale properties on the market. There's a lot of plus points for Battersea Power Station compared to some of the other developments in Nine Elms, which include Embassy Gardens. The problem with these developments is they have an extortionate service charge. Acquiring these units when they're new may suit Asian investors, but when it comes to the resales, you're reliant on the local market, and these properties are overpriced, and the local buyers prefer residential homes as opposed to new build apartments. Rentals is always strong. Unfortunately, the yields are not as high as expected. We've recently rented a 2-bedroom in the Electric Boulevard. The landlord from Singapore that was referred to us by one of our existing landlords, they were unhappy with the service that they were receiving and their property was empty. A 2-bedroom, 800 square feet has rented for £900 per week. Corporate tenants with a 2-year contract. The apartment was furnished and the landlord hasn't incurred a void period of more than 2 weeks. It's important to note that asset management is the key for overseas landlords, where you have to rely on the asset managers to make sure they're protecting your investment. Moving forward from the end of May 2026, the importance of selecting the right tenants couldn't be more important than it is today, and the teams have done an amazing job. Anyway, interesting article. Let's see who the new shareholders will be of the Battersea Power Station. Thanks for watching Huddleton's Asset Management. My name's Monty. If your property is empty and losing money, or if you're facing challenges with your current managing agent, info@huddletons.com, and our friendly teams look forward to serving you soon. Take care. Bye.